This has Grizzlies fans livid. While the NBA has announced a 2-game over-the-seas tour for the Memphis Grizzlies, it takes the team away from arguably their biggest game of the season. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Grizzlies Digest. I'm Tristan Harlen. Excited to be back with you. I know it's been a minute, so hope you guys are doing well. Hope your families are doing good, and hope everybody's kind of been well. I mean, it's been a minute, so kind of hats off to everybody. But before we begin, you already know what time it is. It's time to talk about the subscribers. 73.8% of you guys are not subscribed. And quickly to my 26.2% of you guys, thank you so much for subscribing. I love your support. It means the world to me. But to my 73.8% of you guys, why are you not clicking the subscribe button? Is it me? Is it? Look, we're all family. Is it me? Is there something I can do better to make you guys want to click that subscribe button and the notification bell? Come on, let me know. Is it me? Is it the stuff I report on? Because trust me, let me tell you, I hear you. I've read your comments, and I agree. I hear you 120,000%. But some things are just out of my control. But moving forward, this all is around the NBA to feature the Memphis Grizzlies and Orlando Magic in the Berlin and London games for 2026. Grizzlies to play franchise's first regular season game outside of North America. The NBA today announced that the Grizzlies will play the Orlando Magic in the NBA Berlin games on Thursday, January 15th at Uber Arena in Berlin, Germany, and the NBA London games 2026 on Sunday, January 18th at the O2 in London, England. Both regular season games will be presented by Tissot. Now, I don't know if you guys are picking up where we're going with this, but the Berlin and London games mark the Grizzlies' first regular season contest to be played outside of North America, and the 6th and 7th games Memphis has played outside of the U.S. and Canada. The team previously competed in preseason matchups in France, Puerto Rico, and Spain. Now, we move forward, and here's what the Grizzlies president Jackson Wexler has had to say. We appreciate the opportunity to represent the NBA and to represent the city of Memphis as well as the state of Tennessee on an international stage in Berlin and London. In order to undertake this rare opportunity to bring Memphis to an international audience, it will require the team to be away from home for MLK Day. However, we remain committed to supporting the Memphis community over the MLK Day holiday while the team is traveling, and we look forward to the Grizzlies once again anchoring the NBA's MLK Day schedule in 2027. Now, this is huge. This, I was just going to go ahead and say it. It's kind of horrible. I mean, it's great on the landscape of things that the Grizzlies are playing overseas. They're representing the NBA on a national landscape. I mean, we've seen how well John Morant's jersey sales have been in China. We've seen how well the reaction for him is while he's been over there. And we've seen how well the Grizzlies have transpired the NBA from celebrations to aura to everything in between. But it kind of feels like the NBA looked at the Grizzlies and said, "Hey, do you want more national TV time?" And the Grizzlies were like, "Yes, of course." And they said, "Well, in order for this, we're going to take away your biggest game of the season." And of course, the Grizzlies were like, "Well, it's too late to take that away now." But it also, not only does it take away the Grizzlies from MLK Day playing in Memphis, but it takes away Desmond Bane's return to Memphis. It takes away the fans cheering for Desmond Bane, giving him his flowers, giving him his support, and to see the great videos, the tribute videos that the Grizzlies will put on for Mr. Bane and everybody like that. But the more important thing is that the Grizzlies are going to be away from Memphis on MLK Day. Now, of course, Grizzlies Twitter had a lot to say about this. Joe retweeted DeMichael Cole's tweet. DeMichael said this: "As a result, due to scheduling, the Grizzlies won't be playing on MLK Day for the first time since 2017 and just the second time since moving to Memphis." And then Joe said, "The Memphis Grizzlies do so much around MLK Day every year, much more than just a game. Leave it to the worst commissioner in sports, Adam Silver, to not get that." Now, I can recall during my living stint in the Memphis area, Memphis, South Haven, Mississippi, wherever. It's also close, so a lot of people just say they're from Memphis. But a lot of people, whether that be season ticket holders, blue collar workers that were going to just one game, they were all excited for the MLK Day game. Because sometimes the Grizzlies weren't making the postseason, they weren't finishing with the best records and stuff like that. So the MLK Day was kind of the one chance the Grizzlies got to be on national TV and be, for the fans to show the NBA what Memphis was all about. And, of course, now that it's not here, it kind of has a sour taste in my mouth because, of the history behind MLK Day and everything like that. Now, for those that don't know the history, of course, on April 4th, 1968, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was assassinated in Memphis at the Lorraine Motel, which has since become the site of the National Civil Rights Museum. He went to Memphis in March of 1968 to support the black sanitation workers who had been on strike for 17 days. Of course, the Grizzlies made their first appearance on MLK Day in 2003 after relocating from Vancouver to Memphis. Since coming to the city of Memphis, they have played in every MLK game except for 2002 and 2017. Now, again, I'm not going to dive too much in the history because, I don't want to say the wrong thing, but it's kind of a big deal. And it's not kind of, it is a big deal because, the city of Memphis, as historic as it is, there's no reason to not be in Memphis on MLK Day. Now, a lot of people are going to be torn that, don't live in Memphis, that are Grizzly fans that live in Texas, all these other states, like, oh, hey, you guys are playing Berlin and London, it's phenomenal, it's great for the team's branding, blah, 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 but, sometimes these things just mean a little bit more. Now, of course, everybody knows Mr. Mike, NBA Mike on Twitter, and he says that, I really think MLK Day should be a set-in schedule, Memphis versus Atlanta, and they alternate who's home every year. No reason why Atlanta doesn't ever get an MLK Day game. Now, I agree. But, again, going back to what we talked about already is that, why now? Excuse me, I apologize, but why is it almost like the Grizzlies, for every good thing they do, for every great accomplishment they make, every milestone they hit, it's almost like the NBA says, okay, yes, you've done all this good stuff, but now we're going to put you on this landscape. But the kicker is you're not going to be able to play Memphis on arguably the most important game of your season. Now, yes, there's other games that are considerably more important, like if they're fighting for a play-in spot, fighting for a top 7 seed in the playoffs, or top 6 seed in the playoffs, whichever. Of course, that's more important than, just another regular season game. But the history and the story and all this other stuff around this game and the celebration behind it and the reason behind it, just kind of, as a NBA fan, as a Grizzlies fan, and as a host on Grizzlies Digest, I hate to see it. I would love to know your comments, because I would love to know if you love the overseas fact but hate the fact that they're getting away from MLK Day, or vice versa. But something I kind of wanted to mention real quick before I go is that, while yes, the Grizzlies are away on MLK Day, could the Grizzlies possibly wear some kind of uniform or some kind of patch or something to the effect of still celebrating Martin Luther King Jr. Day while they're overseas? Because a lot of countries overseas don't celebrate the same holidays that the U.S. celebrates. Independence Day is a big one. I believe, I could be wrong on this, but I believe MLK Day is another one, because I've had friends that have lived in London or have lived in England for some time, or from England due to college, and they aren't sure about a lot of American holidays. So I'm sure the Grizzlies are going to be able to wear some kind of jersey, some kind of patch, or there's going to be something on the court representing that. But again, I just hate that with all this great recognition the Grizzlies are about to receive, it comes at the expense of one of the biggest games on the Grizzlies schedule. Now, the rest of the schedule has not come out yet, but with it being Orlando and would have been Desmond Bane's return to Memphis and Martin Luther King Jr. Day, it feels like the biggest gut punch right now. Now, of course, things could change. Other news could change the fact that it's a big gut punch. But, I just don't see why you take the Grizzlies out of Memphis for MLK Day. Now, you could play overseas at any point of the season. November, December, February, October. But why January? Why the 1st of January? Because the Grizzlies aren't getting a Christmas Day game as of right now. So, why not play in December? Why not go play, I don't know, go play Dallas or go play Toronto or go play, somebody that's not Orlando, to where it's just another regular season game and it doesn't have as much stakes as this game would in Memphis. But, again, ladies and gentlemen, real quick before I go, 73.8% of you guys are not subscribed. Be sure to click that subscribe button. Share this video with your friends, families, dogs, cats, lizards, whoever, your neighbors, anybody you want to share this video with. Be sure to share it. But for this episode of Grizzlies Digest, Tristan Harlen signing off and saying goodbye. I will be back shortly to talk about some more Grizzlies news and talk about Jaren Jackson Jr. and how NBA University, let's just say, ranked him very high for a specific category. So I'll have that video out shortly. Thank you guys so much for watching. See you guys later. Peace.